Well, well, well. He fell in the well. No, 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 no. That's not the intro I wanted. How about this? Hey, everybody. Malcolm Tent here, bringing you another episode of Tent Talks Tunes, coming at you somewhat live from the fabulous Bon Air Chicken Farm in Danbury, Connecticut. I like to do this every 168 hours or so on a Wednesday, and I'm here now doing it to you, with you, for you, and at you. And I'm really stoked because I have a guest tonight who I've been a fan of for a real long time. And I'm going to give you just a wee little bit of backstory. It goes back to the good old days when I had a record store in Danbury, a brick and mortar record store. And one day a record collection walked in the door, as they typically did. And this very album, the one I'm pointing to right here, walked in the door, and the estimable Bruce Wingate, who used to work for me, put it on the turntable, and it basically never left the turntable until the day we were screwed out of our lease by the landlord. So that means that this album right here, Confections of Love by Brute Force, if you ever visited Trash American Style, you probably heard it. If you ever listen to my radio show on WNHU West Haven, Mr. Tent's Wild Ride, you've heard Brute Force. And even if you haven't, if you've ever listened to radio, the odds are pretty good that you've heard something written by this guy, performed by any number of artistes. How about Chubby Checker? How about the Chiffons? How about the Circle? How about the Tokens? This dude has written a lot of stuff for a lot of people, and it's all really cool. And so I am absolutely chuffed to present as my guest today Mr. Brute Force. Hey, Brute.
Triple T fans, thank you so much, Malcolm Tent. It's a pleasure to be with you all. I'm going to start out with a song called Spirit, Beauty of the Night. Part of the soul and spirit, spirit, beauty of the night, spirit, beauty of the night. Spirit, beauty of the night, spirit, beauty of the night, silver reflected sun. You're talking about the sunlight, sun, la 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 la, sun. Sunlight. Silver sunlight, even my shadows come from the sun. All is one, all is one. All is one, 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 one. one beauty of the night. Is a child of night, willing to create a sight. Is a child of night, willing to receive the light. Hidden from my eyes, beyond the realms of all time. Beyond the realms of all time. Spirit beauty of the night, spirit beauty of the night, spirit beauty of the night, spirit beauty of the night.
Woo! Hot dog and hot damn brute force on Tent Talks Tunes, Spirit Beauty of the Night. Brute, awesome. Thank you.
Multi-genre, of course, based on Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, right? Based on Beethoven's, gotta give him credit. And this, okay, and then jazzish. Jazzish, and then bluesy. Right, okay, so we're putting all those genres together. I'm glad I played it pretty well, that one. I'm very happy about that. So I'm working on that all the time. And but I got it all together back in the early 70s in Ojai, California. And just did it on the entire Moonlight Sonata, a spiritual song called Spirit Beauty of the Night. You know, and this is just a facet of that diamond, this rendition. And I have a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. Even without the breakdown of its components, you know, it's a song that you can, you know, shake your shoulders to and appreciate the beauty of the melody.
That will be very exciting to be able to record and do with the band too, you know.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, and we're going to be filling the people in on a lot of your story here. You've got You've got a long history in the business, and you've got a discography. It's so long. Ay, Dios
I
mío.
can't follow it. It's amazing.
But I've never heard that song before, unless I might have seen.
Oh, that's right. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Malcolm Tent his due reward. A world debut of Spirit Beauty of Tonight, of the Night. That's right. Your show.
Wow. Sir. No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Well, I am flattered, battered, tattered, and shattered. That was pretty dang cool, man.
Speaking of radio chatter.
Hey. Brute force is on point. Let none deny it.
Thank you.
That just kind of makes me wonder what else you could possibly pull out of your thermos. I'll bet you've got a few more tunes like that.
Well, something, you know, there's just, you know, what can I say? This is, you know, what. Yeah, I'm just doing this. I'm not self-aggrandizing me, but these are files. These are files of songs, you see, and it's fun that I'm going over. I always go over my other things so I could keep them in my head. So when duty calls, when I am booked and I do go into a club, I know what I'm doing, and I just don't have to go, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that kind of, you know, reminds me. I've seen you perform live a few times. I've never seen you play the same set twice.
That's right. Oh, sure, for sure.
And when you
No
and it's
way.
great because you've got such a deep catalog. Like in my intro, I forget if I mentioned all the bands that all the artists that you've written for, like
Thank you.
the Chiffons, Bernadette Peters when she was very, very young, oddly enough. The Circle, Randy and the Rainbows, Little Peggy Marsh, Chubby Checker, and of course the Tokens, who you're probably most associated with. So as someone who's had such a long career as a songwriter and a performer, I'm really curious to know how it is that you broke into the biz as a songwriter.
As a what?
As a songwriter.
Oh, excuse me.
One of those things.
Well, I'll tell you, and I've often been asked that question, and I think the most honest answer is that when I saw my mother playing piano in the basement of our home in Jersey City, it was very inspiring. And after dinner, I would often go down to the piano, and we had a piano. And they were musically, my mother was musically inclined, and she had a piano. And I would go down to the piano and I would pick out tunes, I was like 7 or 8, but I would only play the black keys. I would play black, and that was kind of a lot like it wasn't an organ sound, it was piano sound. Well, piano is, what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's, I'm playing songs. I'll be creating my own melodies, and so when I got a little older, in in grammar school actually, in high school, I started doing poetry. Yeah, I do poetry, and then a little later I started putting the words and the music together. And at parties, high school parties, I would sit down at the piano and go, any title, anything you want a song about, anything you want about it. We're playing tonight on Malcolm 10 show, don't you know? And I'd be making up songs based on any topic or idea, and then I carried that into venues, showcase, and I was showcasing a long time. So that's an answer to the songwriter. I had to become a songwriter, I think, putting together the poems with the melodies, or just doing it all at once. And it's pretty much different now, because at the beginning I would think pretty much I'm writing a song, and so I'd be concerned with the song, the melodies and the lyric at the same time. But now I find that I've written many, many melodies, and I've written many, many poems, and I've written many things that I may see a poem lying around, and I'll say, well, that could go with the melody I just wrote the other day. And so it's that synchronous juxtaposition of what an artist creates that can create what they're doing, And I often think of the sculptor in relation to songwriting, and that is, you take off a little, add a little. If you're making a sculpture in clay, add a little, take off a little, and work on one particular part, keep on rehearsing that particular part, so that part is in your mind, and that's in relation to performing it. So And I found that a lot of songs are what I create at the keyboard, an idea I'll create at the keyboard. But then I have to catch up and I have to put it on tape. Because if I don't put it on tape, or if I don't write it down on script, I'll lose it, So
Oh yeah,
that's kind of the songwriting answer.
that's cool. It kind of makes you reflect on how many times you've probably woken up in the morning with the idea fading away and just trying to grab it before it disappears entirely.
Well, waking up in the morning for me is more or less a dash to the bathroom, I think, to pee.
Now wait, you must have a song about
Grabbing
that
something
then.
else. Grabbing something. Oops.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second.
Sure.
I just got one of the technical difficulties, people. Hang on.
Is it okay to play the keyboard or not?
Yeah.
Stand by your screen. We'll be back very soon with the Malcolm 10 show.
All right.
Oh, good. Just in time. Great.
Brute force has saved the broadcast.
That worked well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, gosh darn, you're on kind of a roll. We want to play another song for us?
Oh, good. Yeah, sure. Play another song. Here we go.
I know. Twist his arm and he'll play another song. If you twist it hard enough, he'll do it.
Malcolm, I felt that when performing, when you play a song that you like to sing, it is just the best thing in the world. And I have to admit there are some songs which I like to sing,
Yeah.
And so here's something. Now there's a big ship sailing in the morning, destiny unknown. I'll be on that ship in the morning, and I'll be far, far gone. Destiny unknown, destiny unknown. If they ask for me, just tell them that I've gone. I'll be sailing for the horizon and the morning sun. Please don't ask me where I'm going. Destiny unknown, destiny unknown, destiny unknown. About the time you figure it all out, about the time to go. I've got the dreams of the helmsman as he plows out to sea, leaving behind all his loved ones, just left with memory. Destiny unknown, destiny unknown. If they ask for me, just tell them that I've gone. There's a big ship sailing in the morning, destiny unknown. I'll be on that ship in the morning, destiny unknown, destiny unknown, destiny unknown.
Nice, nice. Another brute force song I've never heard before.
Oh, well, there you go. That's now I got to do that with a country band. You see,
Oh,
I do it with a country band, but in the meantime, it's I wrote it a long time ago, and it's pretty much you know something I like. I like it. What are you gonna
right
do?
on. I like now I like hearing songs like that because that we're showing a lot of breadth and depth here. Because people who would know, for example, the Confections of Love album would.
Oh, excuse me, right.
Oh yeah, well, I'm just saying they would be familiar with stuff like No Olympian Height or To Sit on a Sandwich or Brute's Party or one of my favorite, The Tapeworm of Love. So you're showing us right here now that it's not all just, do I say, eccentricities.
Well, let's do No Olympian Height.
How about it?
Thank you. This song was written as a poem. This is an example of a poem that was set to a melody because it didn't come all at once. And it was a poem about a girl friend. And recently, it must be 40 years later, I've tried to reach out through the internet to find her, but it's impossible, It's impossible. But anyway, there you go. No Olympian Height. No Olympian height nor majesty of Grecian urns nor sounds distilled that echo through pure vacuum. Venture comparison to your voice, to your voice. I would hear what you say and comprehend and try to reply. But then why, when your words make mine meaningless? Angel coming over the hills, gathering daffodils. Do what you will, I am yours. I am yours. I had a dream in which I dreamt that we were dreaming. And when we woke, we found ourselves awake in dreamland. We kissed and found that dreams are stuffed with fancy stuff like love and kisses, things we can't get enough of. Angel coming over the hills, gathering daffodils. Do what you will, I am yours. I am yours. I am yours. I am yours. Yours. No Olympian height nor majesty of Grecian urns, nor sounds distilled that echo through pure vacuum, then should comparison to your voice, to your voice, to your voice, to your voice.
Right on. Brute Force, live on Tent Talks Tunes, doing No Olympian Heights from the
Tent
album.
Talks Tunes. Tent Talks Tunes. Tent Talks Tunes.
We're going to start a riot here. Easy, Brute Force.
Riot.
Easy. Take it easy, man.
Don't get overexcited.
Tranquila, tranquila.
Tranquila. Right. You're right.
That's what Brute Force's music does to people. And that's what this album did to me the first time I heard it. And this album, it blindsided me in a way that I think it blindsided a lot of people. And I'd love to know some of the story behind this. It came out on Columbia Records in 1967.
Wow.
Major label, big time production, tons of players.
That's right.
How'd you do it, Brute?
Due to the friendship, I would say, of Tommy Dawes, member of The Circle, Red Rubber Ball.
Right.
God bless his soul. And he came to me because he married a girlfriend of mine.
Nepotism.
That's right. I had a girlfriend, Joanna, and she then fell for this guy, Tommy Dawes, and they got married subsequently. So, but they moved to New York City too, and so I continued my friendship with them all. And he was in The Circle. And The Circle, at some specific time prior to 68, around 68, or prior, I don't know the exact, maybe 67, when the Beatles played Shea Stadium, they opened, Circle opened for them, and they were touring with Beatles also. And so I put it together, because then around that time I was writing King of Pho. And so I finished the track of King of Pho after much pounding on the desk when I was in the Tokens, because I produced with them. We got to do this song because everybody was laughing their asses off. But the head guy said, no, we're not going to do it. They'll never play it. How right he was. And so Tommy Dawes was their opening Circle for the Beatles, and I put it, and I said, well, I'm going to take this track to him. Maybe he can get it to the Beatles. He can get it to maybe Nat Weiss, who was the lawyer at the time, and a friend of Brian Epstein. So he took it to Brian Epstein. Then one day, George Harrison came over to his office, and Brian, and I'm sorry, is that right? I'm sorry, not Brian Epstein. It was Nat Weiss, right? He took it to Nat Weiss. and George Harrison came to Nat's office in the city, New York City, right in the same city here. So, and George Harrison loved it, and so I played for Lennon too. So they became the mo the they became the motivators of getting that on Apple, and that leads to a whole nother story, which it kind of goes downhill. So, and I don't want to be depressing, and I don't want to get angry, but it's hard for me to approach that era or that specific nugget without showing undue angst. You know, that's right. So they subsequently did not distribute it, but Harrison and Lennon had the bravery to put it on Apple Records. I don't know where if they got the company money or they did it with their own money. I bet they used their own money. Well, it was Apple's money. It was their company. So and there you have that. But there you have how. What was the question?
Well, I love it because it just shows you how deep and involved the whole story
Very
is.
deep. That story is very deep and involved. There's a door at Nat Weiss's office. Well, it's sold now. It's sold for around, I think, $42,000. The door in his office.
The door that brute
I
force knocked on.
Well, no, it was the inside his closet door, and and George Harrison wrote on it, to Nat Weiss, the king and queen of pho. Right. Because Nat was gay, so
Right, right.
and that's the way that went. So but it sold for $42,000, and I'm not going to get into lobbying for 10% for the creators of songs. So, I mean, that would be $4,200.
Yeah, no.
I got 10% of that, of collectors things.
Yeah.
A song is on eBay now. King of Fuzz on eBay now for like $8,200. $8,200. Wait a minute, $8,200. That's right, $8,200.
Right on. And for those who might not know the background, the King of Pho by Brute Force, who we're talking to right now.
Maybe I'll sing that song then too.
Maybe you can show the people why the song was never destined for airplay.
All right.
But it did end up on Apple Records, and it's one of the most sought after titles in the Apple catalog. Not to mention a darn good song. I love the song, man. The song stands on its own merits, and that's what's really important.
Thank you. That's very important.
No, after the song. I mean, if the song wasn't
they use the song. They use different adjectives to describe quirky, kooky. But if you read the lyrics, they're very, very deep lyrics in there about individuality and beauty.
Well, that ties into the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to go back to Confections of Love. I mean, because as I mentioned before earlier, you've got songs like the Tapeworm of Love, Making Faces at Each Other, Donut, Conjugation. And it is easy to look at them just on the surface and say, oh, that's kind of wacky and that's goofy, ha, 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 ha. But there is stuff going on in there. And the more the listener listens to them, the more reward the listener gets, because there's these layers of
Thank
meaning.
you. Yes, the lyrics are often philosophic and deep, and that led to my self-coining the genre of music which I write. Not the only genre, but kind of a general genre is heavy funny.
I like
Heavy slash funny.
I like it.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah. So
anyway, yeah. See, I got these are cassettes.
Ooh, what's on those cassettes, Brute?
Because I'm just keeping my songs near me that I have to put down on tape. If I don't do that, it's at this point of life, it's in one ear and out the other. So. You that isn't. You're still a young man, so.
I'm only 56 and I can
Well, that's
relate.
pretty good. That's very good.
I can relate. So core blimey, in just the space of one paragraph, we've gone from the Beatles with the Circle on tour in like 1965 to 1966, you getting to know the dude who stole your girl and working the song, to
Right.
1967 when
Yeah.
this album came out, to
Yeah.
1968 when The King of Pho came out.
Oh, and Tommy Dawes introduced me to John Simon, see, the producer of that album.
Okay, got it. Got it. Seeing that this whole web of intrigue is being woven, it's leading to the creation of Confections of Love. So, because, and I know the Circle were on Columbia Records, so obviously that was the end to the label.
They're also on Columbia, and Paul Simon wrote Red Rubber Ball.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I did not know
Yes.
that. Okay.
He came to one of the sessions at Confections of Love. Paul Simon did.
Hmm.
He kind of just walked in and walked out.
He walked in and said, "I give up. I should quit right now, but
I
I'm
don't
not
think
gonna." And then he
I don't
walked.
think so. I don't think so. He's so, I mean, so talented, you know, so much of a genius that, you know, I'm
Yeah.
sure he just wanted to observe.
Well, I'm sure he observed a lot and took it away with him, but that's another topic for another day.
Oh, good.
Just the fact that you were able to go into, I'm assuming, Columbia Studios with apparently a pretty good budget and the ability to assemble this team of all the players and the arrangers and to make this like really big work. Confections of
Big
Love.
band, big bands. Now, I'm not sure if that was right. I'm not sure if it was wrong, but is what it is. And I'll tell you what, I, I'm very thankful for it. Pat Williams, I have to mention his name too. Super talented, professional, you know, like Hollywood arranger. You know, Pat Williams, he did great songs on the Confections album also.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
Pat Williams.
I think Confections of Love stands up a lot better than a lot of albums from 1967 because it was, de rigueur around then to do stuff with, fuzz guitar and backwards effects and things that really kind of date the material. But it sounds timeless, and I'm
Oh,
just saying
good.
that as a listener, this is something you can put on and it still sounds fresh and original now.
Yeah, bar none. You know, very well-known independent U.S. independent label has put out the reissuing of Confections of Love. Did that with Doug Weigel. You probably know Doug.
I don't.
Okay, so and the people over there, you know, I don't know how, but I want more of them, and whether or not they've run out of them or not, I don't know. You know, I call them, and yet, but that's another story, of course. And
So
so you
many.
know, if believe me, you know, I wanted to mention, maybe we'll do one more song from the Confections of Love album.
Sure, that'd be great.
That be okay?
I'd love it.
Okay, and this will kind of break the mold on some of the things I've been doing here. Sad, sad, the sad, sad world of mothers and fathers, mothers and fathers. George, yes, Mabel, tell your daughter to come in. She's been parked out there with him for over an hour. Don't disturb me, don't disturb me, don't disturb me. Can't you see? Can't you see I'm watching the game? Watching the game. Schimmelhoff gets the ball on the 72-yard line. Oh, he sees Spindler way downfield. He lets a gigantic pass go. Spindler is at the 10. He looks up. Oh, he's at the 5. He's got it. He's over. It's a touchdown. A touchdown. Mabel, did you see? It's a touchdown. Sad, 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 sad world of mothers and fathers, mothers and fathers. Mabel, yes, Judge. Tell your daughter to come in. She's been parked out there with him for over an hour. Don't disturb me, don't disturb me, don't disturb me. Can't you see? I'm watching James Cagney. Oh, Jimmy, baby. You guys are going to get in the belly. Rat, tat, 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 tat. Just like that. And you, girl, Mabel. Oh, George, did you hear you call me Mabel? Sitting out there in your living room. We're gonna go places. We're gonna go places. Oh, George, did you hear Jimmy? He said we're gonna go places. Daughters and sons, they are the ones who must pay every day. Don't disturb me, 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 don't disturb me. The sad, sad world of mothers and fathers.
Woo, tour de force performance by Brute Force here on 10
Thank you. Oh, that's it. Hey, that's the title of one of the CD I put out, right?
Yeah, you might want to tell the people about that.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. Unconsciously, you did that.
Honest to God, it might have been probably more of a Jungian slip than a Freudian slip.
Yes, but... ladies and gentlemen, here on the Triple T, you want to get a hold of the Brute Force discography. Of course, there's extemporaneous, first out on BT Puppy, put out by Revola to Revola. I, the creator, had to pay $23 to buy that from a Japanese outfit recently.
Typical.
This is probably the only one I think that is they're still pressing. Come and get it. The best of Apple Records. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say again, the best of Apple Records. And this is where King of Thought is on. And I'm so happy to be with, let me say, my bandmates, not my bandmates, to be with my, well, there's lots of famous people on here, including my partial fame. really, as you know, this is number 5 on here. And of course, you'll also hear Mary Hopkin, James Taylor, right, the Ivies, amongst others. You know, and Macca is on here too with an instrumental he did called Thingamy Bob or something like that. So yeah, and that's I'm very proud to be on, as you know, Apple Records, and come and get it, the best of Apple. Crazy Rock, well, you never. That's just old Sony compilation. Whole lot of lava. It's an old Sony compilation. Okay, there, Tour de Brute Force. There it is. Tour de Brute Force.
Oh, I got one of those.
I gave you one at the club there, at the pizza place.
Yes.
And this one has, actually, this one has extemporaneous on it too. And this has, I believe this also has King of Pho on it. And it has some, well, it's a great, I always describe it as a great potpourri of my music, you know, funny stuff, serious stuff, you know, whole Tour de Brute Force. Get that on my website, brutesforce.com. Brutesforce.com. This is Lovers from the Sky. This is, that's just one of those comps, you know, everybody puts King of Pho on their comp. You know. There is that, of course, that's what we've been talking about today, right?
It's got the King of Pho on it too.
And we're working on a, we're working on a, who knows when it's going to come out, a songs, the songs of Stephen Friedland performed by others.
Cool.
As you mentioned at the beginning of the show, how many other artists have done music written by Brute Force, right? So
yeah,
working on that. And but yeah, Tour de Brute Force. And
yeah, there was also
I'd like to mention this, if I may, the poster. May I do that?
Please do.
Thank you. I know this is your show and I don't want to take advantage. But since you have asked me to be on the show, I feel that I would be remiss if I did not scroll down, or scroll up, I guess is better. My Pledge of Allegiance, right? Pledge of Allegiance to the planet, ladies and gentlemen. Be quick about it. It's time, an idea whose time has come for humanity, that is every mind, enlightened or not, anyone who's aware or not in the world, to put together the ritual of allegiance, to morph that ritual into the reality of living on planet Earth. So if you pledge allegiance to Greenland, or if you pledge allegiance to Iceland, or to Australia, or to Africa, or or to China, or whatever, Russia, or the United States, I'm not telling you to get rid of your borderlines. I'm not telling you to get rid of your flags, but let us recognize if you live in any country that is on this earth, you live on the earth. So therefore, I have created the Pledge of Allegiance to the planet, which is on the Planet Work CD. And we want to get this into every educational institution in the world. I pledge allegiance to my planet and to the universe all around and within me. One spirit indivisible, with eternity for all. I'll just go through that once again. I pledge allegiance to my planet and to the universe all around and within me. One spirit indivisible, with eternity for all. Covers 3 major factors of existence, which have always been, that is, the being, I, the place. When you may have been familiar with being here now, be here now, very, very popular mantra of the 60s. With being, the place, and time, eternity, with eternity for all. Place, planet, I pledge allegiance to my planet. Being, I, I pledge. So we want to, and this is the poster. It's a poster, and you can get that at planetwork.world. That's it. Planetwork.world. You know, there's instructions there and all that stuff. Great for offices, homes, and schools. It is a neck turner. People go by and say, "What's that?" Yeah, wait a minute. So thank you. That's and you'll get the music, by the way. Oh, the music, you know, is I pledge allegiance to my planet and to the universe, all around and inside of me, one spirit indivisible, with eternity for all. So we want to get that song, you know, at the Olympics. How great it will be to get tens of thousands of people singing I Pledge Allegiance to My Planet. And this is the year that I really put a push to get it in, you know, and they canceled the Olympics.
Typical again.
I was so close. I had 611, and then they came out with 711. Okay.
I got that.
It's a eightfold CD, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It's an eightfold, and I think you'll like it. And you can get it at planetwork.world.
I know I got mine, and I like mine. This shows the other side of brute force. This is the I think more overtly, deeply spiritual and like concerned brute force, like right there on the face of it.
So let's leave with all that being said. Let's say part company with something that will bring up that very thing that you've just said. Dum diddy dum 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 diddy dum 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 diddy dum 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 dum. Well, there's one thing that's worse than a broken heart. Dum diddy dum 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 dum. And that's a broken condom. Dum diddy dum dum dum. One little pinhole can attract another soul and lead to conception. Dum diddy dum dum dum. Look here. It is clear. You can see a little pinhole in the magnifying lens. Diddy dum diddy dum. It's not right that we'd have sex tonight. So let's just play cards and stay friends. But there's one thing that's worse than a broken heart, and that's a broken condom. Dum diddy dum 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 dum. Thank you so much.
Whew, brute force laying down the sad and ugly truth.
I put a buttonhole on this program that you're so nice to have invited me on. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being a part of it, man. I really enjoyed having you on here. Been a fan for a long time. I'm glad we got to chew the fat just a little bit here on Tent Talks Tunes.
Ah, makes me hungry. I did my time, right?
Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. You're free to go, brute force.
When do I get paid? Okay.
I better go right now, like real fast. I'm gonna reach on over here and hit the pause button right now.